Hello YouTube, and anyways, I got a fun video here today, which is, what if I was in charge of the Booster Course Pass? Anyways, right in, the only major rule that I need to talk about first is what I call the plus or minus one rule, which essentially means that going into this, I was only allowed to change the number of tracks a game had by one. So like, I couldn't take the Wii tracks in the BCP down to 6. I could only take it down to 7 because I want to keep the overall representation pretty similar to what Nintendo did. I was allowed to change out tracks within each game, but that's about it. Also, track had to have been in tour during its lifetime. Also, every wave still needed a non-city nitro. I had a hard decision to make on that one, but me personally am happier with some of the track stuff there. Anyways, let's get into it. Wave 1, obviously, right off the bat, cities are the same. Tokyo, get it out of the way as fast as possible. Paris, I think it's just a really good introduction to the lap changing gimmick because it barely uses it. I think DS Mario Circuit gets way too much hate, but I also think a lot of hate comes from it, quote-unquote, stealing Airship Fortress's spot by being in Wave 4. I feel like moving it here makes it much less likely to get trashed on. Kept Choco Mountain and Coconut Mall as well. Sorry N64 fans, but the N64 track and representation is unfortunately the same, as I didn't want to take down any other game slots for N64. Same with SNES, it has the same number of tracks, because I didn't want to take anything else down for it. Mushroom Bridge, obviously, at the end of this video, you'll see notes of what replaced what, at least internally, for me. Mushroom Bridge replaced Sky Garden. It took away that GBA slot, gave it to GameCube. And Shy Guy's Bazaar also just flat out replaced Toad Circuit, because that version of Sky Garden is trash, and Toad Circuit's Toad Circuit. I think those are way better. I think this Wave 1 is way better. This would actually bring up Wave 1 a solid notch in my mind. Anyways, Wave 2. It's actually pretty different. Obviously, London's there. Again, get these early cities out of the way. Rock Mountain got moved here, mostly because there's a harder 3DS track that put in Wave 3 in its place. But I also love Rock Mountain, so I didn't want to cut it. Shroom Ridge got moved here. Shroom Ridge is a DS track that had never been brought back before. With Mario Kart 7 tracks, I wasn't as worried about replacing tracks that had never been brought back before. For DS, the 2 DS tracks that had never been brought back before, I kind of would have felt bad about cutting, so I didn't cut either of them. Obviously, Snowland, also, it's never returned before. I made sure not to cut it. I tried my best, if I was going to cut a track that had never returned before, to replace it with another track that had never been returned before. With one exception, I actually did do that. And we'll get to that. I don't like Sky High Sunday. I didn't want to put Prom Plant Cove here, which is what I realistically would have, just because obviously it had multiple variants, and I don't think they would have got even close to all 3 variants by the time Wave 2 released. So I thought it was too unrealistic. So I put Prom Plant Pipeline instead. Overall, this Wave 2 is actually not that different, honestly. I feel like the reception of this Wave 2 would have been pretty similar to the actual Wave 2. I will say, for the most part, I tried to make it so that each waves had less, like, all 6 waves are a lot more equal, but obviously everyone has their own opinion, so yeah. Wave 3, Vancouver Velocity, where it belongs. Moon View Highway in the Moon Cup. Again, Moon View Highway where it belongs. I had to choose between Wario Shipyard and Rosalina's Ice Wall. Originally, I wanted to have both of them, but the only way I could have both of them was by getting rid of a tour track. And since one of the main reasons why we have the BCP is so that the next Mario Kart game doesn't have to have half the retros be tour tracks, I decided, well, neither of them have been brought back, and I like Wario Shipyard more, so I'll do Wario Shipyard. As essentially, I didn't change the amount of tour tracks. And again, that's mostly because the BCP most likely was created to preserve tour tracks. Now, obviously, they never said that. And one of the tour tracks was left off. But obviously, it can just be brought back in the next game. They must have figured, we don't need to do all of them here. Obviously, Bowser's Castle here, and that's because there's going to be another one later. Because there should be more than 2 Bowser's Castles in 96 tracks. It is going to be a little bit of a cowl bummer to go from this SNES track to my next SNES track, because this one's such a banger. But oh well. This Wave 3's, I feel pretty good still, though. Anyways, Wave 4, I know, Mario Circuit 3. I mean, I just didn't really know what else to put here. I mean, you probably could put Calamari Desert here instead, but I didn't want to have 2 Mario Circuits and Waves back-to-back. Gotta have 2 SNES tracks still, I feel. And I want to fit the Mario Kart 8 theme of having the 3rd variants, so Mario Circuit 3, plus I like it. And Luigi finally has a track. Sadly, it came at a cost. I already added it. I added a DS track. You'll see it soon. So to have a Luigi's Mansion, I had to replace a DS track. I didn't want to replace Mario Circuit because it had never been brought back before. I didn't want to replace Shroom Ridge because it had never been brought back before. Which left cult classic Waluigi Pinball and Peach Gardens. While I do like Peach Gardens more than Luigi's Mansion, I'd rather have Luigi's Mansion than GBA Luigi Circuit. And I knew I wanted a Luigi track, so I had to make the tough choice. But Daisy Cruiser's here, which is great. And Singapore Speedway's in the Boomerang Cup, because boomerangs are Australian, I guess. Yeah. Wave 4 honestly didn't get changed all that much, I don't feel. But anyways, let's go on to Wave 5. Where? Yeah, Madrid, I don't think fits Wave 6. I think it's too easy, so I put it here. I replaced Riverside Park with Lakeside Park. Didn't feel bad because neither of them had returned before. So, yeah, Lakeside Park. And then the elephant in the room, Airship Fortress. Yep, that replaced Daisy Circuit. I replaced Daisy Circuit with Airship Fortress. Now, I love Daisy Circuit and all, but I felt like it was the most replaceable Wii track. Because DK Summit is insanely popular, so I couldn't get rid of it. I love Moonview Highway myself. I'm a huge fan of it, so I personally couldn't fathom replacing it. Which meant Daisy Circuit was all that was left. Should it theoretically have replaced Koopa Cape since Koopa Cape had returned before? Yeah, but Koopa Cape's also ultra famous. Oh, I actually really like this Wave 5 though, so yeah. And finally, Wave 6! Yeah, this is just where Waluigi Pinball had to go. It was either Waluigi Pinball or Shroom Ridge here, because obviously Bowser Castle 4 is already here, so I didn't want Airship Fortress. I think Athens Dash would make a great final city track, so I also have it here. And yeah, that's my Booster Course Pass. Overall, pretty similar to the one we actually got with some minor changes, obviously. On your screen is a list of all the replacements I made. Honestly, not a lot of them. Only 8. I already made 8 track changes. Anyways, I'm going to read aloud every track that got replaced so we can mourn them. GBA Sky Garden, GBA Sunset Wilds, GBA Riverside Park, Wii Daisy Circuit, Tour Sky High Sunday, 3DS Rosalina's Ice World, 3DS Toad Circuit, DS Peach Gardens. Overall, as far as representation go, GBA is the one that got changed the most. In fact, half of it got changed. over half. We got 5 GBA tracks in the official BCP. This one already has 4. And out of the 4, only 2 of them are in the actual BCP. So it got changed a lot. 3DS also got changed a good lot. I did keep the number of them the same. Originally, I did give an extra 3DS slot, and it cost a tour. That if I really was going to get rid of a tour track, it should have gone to N64 anyways. It's just, look at the N64 track selection and tour, and honestly tell me, you would rather have Frappe Snowland over Piranha Plant Pipeline. Honestly tell me, you'd rather have Mario Raceway over Piranha Plant Pipeline. Yeah, you wouldn't. If we were going with tracks that weren't in tour, I probably actually would have done something different. I probably would have tried to get N64 Bowser Castle in there. That's probably what I would have done. I don't know. But, anyways, that is the end of this video. I tried to make it not terribly long. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was nice and fast-paced for you. Goodbye, and see you next time.